Hey, what's up, guys? Some big changes are about to happen to crypto, and a lot of people aren't even talking about it. I'm going to tell you exactly what I am talking about with some proof of that in the video, but you need to watch the whole thing. So stick around for that. I'm also going to talk about Bitcoin, MicroStrategy, what's going on, just the market in general. We know that things are a bit illiquid right now with a big national United States event coming up. Of course, I don't actually say the name of that event or the two people involved, because on YouTube and other social media websites like that, they tend to maybe limit your ability to amplify and censor maybe a little bit too. So I don't say those words exactly, but just know that it's a big week ahead for crypto in general, a massive week. So we'll talk about Bitcoin October, these big changes that are coming to crypto in general that I want to talk about. I'm going to try to make this video as short as possible, kind of scan through some things because, hey, we're going into the weekend, and again, next week is a big week. So we had all the info come out, and so as far as numbers, again, we're a bit low, and we see that constantly, right? And I tend not to over focus on these types of things. The good news is that maybe we have some more rate cuts ahead, okay, which that tends to be pretty good for Bitcoin and stocks and everything in general. But I don't over focus on these numbers that come out every month for the United States. I mean, a lot of times now we know where the trend is going. We know that rate cuts are happening. We know that regardless of a recession or whatsoever, there's a good chance that numbers are up over in the next year. Most people are bullish for the stock market, bullish for Bitcoin, bullish for crypto, regardless of even the outcome of the United States this next week for this big event that I won't say. You know, a lot of people that this is a good market to be in. So I'm not over fixating on these numbers that come out and the volatility that tends to follow that day to day. But I know 3, 6, 9 months, 12 months from now, that's what I'm looking to do as far as when I'm getting in the market, what I'm buying, what I'm trading. So Bitcoin, volatile. It's quite illiquid right now. You know, stock markets are the same. They're going down based on different numbers and news. And again, it's just chopping, ranging back and forth. It's above the previous all-time high. It's below, it broke back down. And for the stock market, we're not going to sit here and talk about the stock market because you guys don't care anyway, which is totally fine. But let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin and what did it do. I want to talk about MicroStrategy in a minute, but for Bitcoin in general, it actually had a pretty good, the week's not closed yet, a monthly candle. Let me go down. Here's the month. And so we can see that Bitcoin in general closed quite a bit higher. It closed over $70,000. And so that's only the second time that it's closed over $70,000 in Bitcoin history. Okay, so that's massive. That's massive in itself. Whenever Bitcoin closes at near highs, it's huge on a monthly close. So that in itself is a reason to celebrate, right? Was it a fantastic October? It was a good October. You know, we all talk about, let's go ahead and look at the Bitcoin returns. We had here a 10% October for 2024. And so, yes, the previous year was 28%. The last two halving years of 2020 and 2016 were really good. They were 27%. They were 14%. They were better than this 10%. But hey, you know, October of 2016 had 14%. November was only 5%. 2020 was 27%. But then November was 42%. So it's hard to know what to expect. Again, I think we do know that the outcome of this event in the United States in the next week could actually impact greatly how Bitcoin performs in November and December. But in general, I don't even care what the outcome is. It's a halving year. The scarcity is there, right? The block reward is down. And overall, it's bullish fundamentally for Bitcoin in the crypto market that November and December should look good regardless, okay? So we're looking for a better November. I think that November will actually be higher than October, and I think that December can actually beat both of those as well. So Q4 generally has been pretty good. The last couple of halvings, again, 168% and 58% Q4s. Ethereum, you know, I won't sit here and talk about Ethereum much, but I know some people ask me about Ethereum, and it just hasn't looked good, right? Bitcoin had a 10% upside for Q4 so far. Ethereum's down 4%. Q3 was 24% down. Q3 for Bitcoin was 1% up. So Bitcoin has been outperforming Ethereum. Solana has been outperforming that as well. And so if you're an Ethereum holder, I do think eventually you get a little relief. I think you're going to have some upside. Naturally, if Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum's going to follow. But will it outperform it? I don't know. I can't say that. But right now, Bitcoin, Solana, those, as far as majors, those tends to be the ones that you want to be in. So just be aware of that if you hold Ethereum. It's one of those things where I don't think it goes away, right? It's already secured itself in the history of crypto and Bitcoin. Will it be supplanted by by Solana? I don't know exactly. We would have to take a look at that, but Solana would have to really, really, really make up some ground here this year. So MicroStrategy, a lot of people are talking about MicroStrategy. The funny thing is that if you look at the MicroStrategy chart, I mean, it's almost like an exact comparison of the Bitcoin chart right now. They look a lot alike. That's because MicroStrategy is just buying a ton of Bitcoin, as you know. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the tweet that was out. MicroStrategy, there's Gabe right there. Of course, that's always fun to have on your stream. But MicroStrategy announcing goal to raise $42 billion over the next 3 years to buy Bitcoin. And so $42 billion to buy Bitcoin. Why isn't the market pumping right now based on that news alone? And so there was some pretty cool stuff that came out. Now, I can't sit here and read like a massive thread by the Lazy Villager, the Giver, gives a really good overview. This guy's a really smart guy. Now, you're certainly welcome to read this thread by the Giver if you want. You can find him on Twitter. But basically, really, it gets into this. And I went ahead and just jotted it down that MicroStrategy has had an ambitious goal, okay? So breaking it down, they've had a goal that they wanted to raise $42 billion over the next 3 years to buy Bitcoin. And that's an enormous amount, right? But the market's skeptical. And that's exactly why it didn't necessarily pump about whether they can actually achieve this or not. And so the track record for raising funds as far as MicroStrategy goes, they had previously aimed to raise $2 billion through an ATM and at the market offering, but so far they've only managed to raise $1 billion, about half that in 3 months, which falls short of their target. And that suggests that maybe they might not reach their $40 billion goal. Okay. And so the expected cash flow and credit, if demand remains similar, MicroStrategy might realistically bring in around $4 billion annually from these stock offerings beyond equity. They might also try to raise debt. If they add $20 billion in debt, they could theoretically purchase an additional 285,000 Bitcoin at today's prices. So the market might not be feeling this right now, might not be pumping off this news because some of MicroStrategy's previously announced purchases haven't even been completed, and if they tell people they plan to buy 40 billion of Bitcoin, but they're lagging on current purchases, it raises doubt about future follow through. So that's probably the gist of it. There's some other things as far as that goes, but as far as the market reaction, you know, it's not enthusiastic right now based on that. And you think that in general, will they be able to hit 40 billion for Bitcoin? Maybe, but what the market thinks right now or what people's general opinions are is they won't hit that. So that doesn't matter. I mean, Bitcoin price is going to go up regardless. But just to get to the heart of things, the market maybe did not necessarily pump on that news. And that's to explain it because it's a lot of info. You can go ahead and read from the Giver if you'd like. What I want to get into now is specifically how crypto is about to change. What I want to talk about are exchanges in general, because there's about to be big changes. And not a lot of people are talking about it. Some people are talking about it. But what you need to know in the news, what has been happening so far, is Coinbase and Kraken, these United States-based exchanges that are huge, what's going on. And so we know that Coinbase has saw its largest single-day decline in 2 years amid stock market wipeout, okay? So there is Coinbase coin. You see that it dropped from 223. Currently, it's around 280. Excuse me, at 180. It dropped lower. Historically, it's been ranging sideways since February, March, right? So it's been similar to Bitcoin since, you know, the spring of this past year. It's been kind of in a downtrend going sideways. Do I think that coin? I do hold coin. I've been in coin since below $60. I continue to hold it. I'm up 3x. No reason for me to sell it now, especially if we believe that, again, this market continues on the uptrend. And I also believe these changes are about to be made that are going to bump the earnings in price of coin up. But to go back into the news, Coinbase missed their marks. Okay, it says on October 30th, it was reported that Coinbase Q3 2024 fell short of Wall Street analyst estimates by around 11%. And so they're not meeting their numbers. And that was a reason why Coinbase fell in their stock market. And that's not the only thing. Bloomberg also reports that the US-based cryptocurrency exchange Kraken is laying off workers, I think up to 15%. Don't quote me on that. I believe I saw that number somewhere following the appointment of a new co-chief executive. But point being too is that you're seeing these layoffs, you're seeing consensus, you're seeing Kraken, you're seeing Coinbase not hit their earnings. And there's actually a big issue that's ever evolving around crypto right now that is probably the hottest topic outside of Bitcoin, and that is specifically meme coins. So, to go back, we've had historically meme coins typically aren't always put on exchanges, right? We've had Dogecoin. There's been some other memes like PEPE with POPCAT recently also on Binance, but Coinbase in general has been quite a bit more strict on these things. And as far as Kraken goes, it does list some of these things as well. I'd have to go and look on that. But in general, what we're seeing is that more and more retail, more and more volume are going to meme coins. And so I was always skeptical of meme coins, mainly because a lot of these tend to be, as I've talked about in previous videos, these bundled scammy tokens where there's not really any more upside to new buyers equivalent to these VC coins where they just dump on people, right? So you have to be very specific with what you're looking for. You want to make sure that it is fair launch. You want to make sure that it's not, predatory towards you if you're buying it. And so a lot of the memes in the past, they were bad. And so things continue to change. They continue to get better, but meme coins aren't going anywhere. Now more than ever, there's apps to buy meme coins. That's also putting pressure on Coinbase. And so what you're seeing here is you're seeing pressure be put on Coinbase because perhaps their lack of memes. And so what I think is going to happen, and which I want to go ahead and show you in a second, is that Coinbase, Binance, and a lot of these other exchanges are going to be forced to list more memes. Okay. Now, they have to do their due diligence. They have to make sure that these aren't securities. In the end, no meme coin should be security. It's for entertainment purposes only. It's because people like the community, like the meme, they like what it stands for. But in general, Coinbase is in the US, so they have to be a little bit more strict about what they list. But in general, what I want you to know is I do think that they're going to be more open to listing meme coins, which is bullish meme coins because that also allows retail to get in because a ton of people use Coinbase. And so because of that, I think we're going to see more meme coins listed. That's going to impact meme coin prices. I think meme coins continue to go up. They continue to rally. And because of that, Coinbase and these other exchanges will continue to maybe meet their marks better in Q1 and Q2 of 2025, perhaps even Q4. So with that said, again, POPCAT has been amazing. It's been one of those. It's currently at 1.6 billion valuation. Its chart is actually really nice because as you see, it continues to be on an uptrend. And I think that with being on Binance now in general, it's going to hit over 2 billion before too long, as far as 2 billion market cap, over $2. And so I think we're going to hit that soon. As far as other meme coins as well too, similar to that with, if you go ahead and we basically go out, it's going sideways. Okay. So right now with Bitcoin going sideways, with it being down a little bit because of everything going on, because nobody knows what's going to happen over the next week with all the big events in the United States, but PEPE as well too, basically sideways. But these charts don't necessarily even look bad. They're just going sideways. But these are the main memes that I think will continue to do well, right? They're the big ones. They're the ones over multi-billion-dollar valuations. And I will continue to say that I think that BONGO Cat is one of the biggest values and undervalued meme coins. And yes, I own some tokens. I'm helping with the community. But a big reason for that is because I love the meme. I love it is entertaining. And I just believe that it's so totally undervalued, being one of the most popular memes and cats in the world, not just in the United States, not just in Europe, but globally in Asia and Russia and everywhere. And I've shown that throughout different videos and content. And so, no, I'm not going to stop talking about it for the fact that I do think that there's massive upside. And what you tend to see is as what's going on right now with BONGO Cat is similar to PEPE. Almost looks exactly identical. Went up, going sideways, Same way here, went up, going sideways. That tends to be more of an accumulation phase, in my opinion. These short-term traders that got in kind of on the way up, you're going to see them distribute on the way down, and you're going to see people get into this that like the meme. They believe in it, and they foresee it being a huge meme in the future, and they think that, again, that it can hit valuations similar to POPCAT and some of these other meme coins. And I think that it can. And so again, if we see POPCAT with PEPE hitting $10 billion over the next year, Bongo Cat only sitting at below 10 million market cap right now, 1 penny, 1 cent. What do you think retail is going to say when they see a coin is big and popular and they know it and they love it like Bongo? They're going to say that's cheap. That's like a cheap POPCAT. I mean, 200x, and that's a 200x away from POPCAT. Surely it's going to perform well. So that's my personal opinion on Bongo still. With PEPE, I still like all of these. I think the charts, they're basically ranging right now. Not overly worried about these. They're sustaining higher lows. And so with that said, the last thing that I want to show you, based on what we talked about earlier already, is that Coinbase International Exchange already listed Nero as far as perp future listings. Okay, so what I'm trying to show you right here is that it's about to begin. I think that we're going to see a lot more memes be listed from Coinbase, whether that's international or whether that's the United States exchange. Again, they have to be really, really picky, have to do their due diligence for a lot of these memes. But by the time a meme gets to Coinbase, it's probably fairly distributed, right? It's probably fairly distributed. The volume is good. The liquidity is good. I mean, most people have max maybe a 1% supply by then. And so that not in any way is predatory, right? Especially if you get to the Coinbase level in general. So be on the lookout for that. And that's what's going to change. And that was kind of my big take for this week, is that, you know, meme coins are here to stay for at least this next year. And again, they're going to do well. Prices will go up. I think we're going to see earnings go back up for exchanges. And that's just something that I'm taking a look at and taking to heart. As far as all the memes, tons of good memes to look at. You know what I like. I think POPCAT continues on its way up to over $2. I think WIP and PEPE, just a matter of time, especially once Bitcoin goes back above new highs. You're going to see a lot of these, as we've seen, meme coins bounce the hardest. They tend to perform really well. And so very volatile, though. They can also dump quite as fast. So again, good risk management is key, not financial advice, but always make sure to never put in more than you can afford to lose, especially with memes, because again, so many of those, especially those small ones, are high risk. So with that said, that's it for me. Bitcoin has had a good October. I do foresee November being a good month. I think it's going to be better overall. We're all just waiting for Tuesday to happen so we can get that over with, Tuesday, Wednesday, so we can see those final outcomes so that we have maybe a clear understanding of what to expect here in the next month or two. An uptrend as far as 2025 goes. I think it's going to be a good year for crypto in general. So be on the lookout for more videos. You guys have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon.